Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Super Dimension Fortress Makurosu Episode 4. Last time on Macross, everything. We took a huge turn and it's deeply exciting, and I am extraordinarily happy because I thought we might get stuck in a loop there, and now everything has been shaken up in the most exciting of ways. Under an unceasing assault from alien forces, Captain Global did the one thing that he could do. He made a daring maneuver, and he ordered Claudia to take them to the other side of the moon, which she did, and missed by a couple orders of magnitude. They find themselves on the outskirts, on the far edge of the solar system, endless miles away from home or hearth or help. In unknown, seemingly uncharted space, infested, I assume, with technologically advanced aliens who will be able to track them through hyperspace and continue attacking them, saddled with the responsibility to care for an entire underground shelter, a city's worth of people, on a single, technologically advanced, poorly understood, mostly broken, gravityless, hyperdrive lacking battleship, repurposed from previous alien technology, out in the depths of space, fighting against all odds to safeguard their little stretch of humanity against the unknown. Suddenly, we're somewhere in between the Star Trek The Next Generation and Battlestar Galactica. We've got a giant aircraft carrier in space, way out far in space. They're trapped, they're stuck, they have goals, they have people they want to get home to, there are families that have been separated, there are whole families on board. They have to figure out a way of life, they have to figure out a way of war, they have to figure out a way that combines the two in a way that they don't lose their entire population rapidly. They have to survive, they have to figure out how to pilot this damn ship, they have to make plans, they have to discover fucking a hierarchy. There might be rebellions, there might be internal conflict and war, there might be turncoats, there might be infiltrators. There are a bajillion stories that can be told now. When we were stuck in port on an island, the enemy comes, we rebuff the enemy. The enemy attacks, we rebuff the enemy. Hikaru does something stupid, the girl is cute. Ta-da! Shit show. Our whole cast goes out in space. They're in desperate circumstances, fighting for their own lives and the lives of those around them against all odds, with technology that they barely understand, having to fight against an unknown future and demonstrate the ingenuity and survivability of humanity against forces arrayed against them? Yeah, that's a story. Yeah, that's a story. There we go. There's the story. That's a story. Throw in some cool mechas, throw in an idiot character who's going to probably grow up to be a good boy, and we've got ourselves a plot. Also, I assume that Lin Min Mei is going to be necessary for, like, making people not want to all kill themselves, because you're stuck out in space far away from everybody. There's no hope. It's fucked. It's all fucked. Oh, wait, there's a pretty girl singing. Maybe there's hope. Maybe we could go on for one more week, whatever the hell a week means in near Pluto orbit. Oh, it's excellent. I really do have to draw the parallels to Battlestar Galactica. Whether you prefer the original series, or any of the ones in between, or the more recent one, I'm an Adama fan, and I'm a Battlestar Galactica fan. I really like the whole premise, the whole idea of, like, one stranded nation of people stuck amongst the stars, desperately seeking out, like, succor and a place to rest, just for a short time, going on endless types of weird and interesting adventures against all sorts of interesting forces and enemies who are, in the same circumstance, very technologically advanced and have all the power, and we're an underdog in that circumstance, and it's the last ship, and so there's really, like, there's something serious at stake here. It's the survival of humanity. Now, Earth is fine, I think, but for everybody on board, this is the last chance for them and their families and everything that matters to them. So they're going to have to figure out reasons to fight. And I think it writes itself. Barring Monster of the Week, Planet of the Week, Asteroid of the Week, Attack of the Week style episodes, the actual overall flow of the plot seems to write itself. Our characters have a goal. Their goal is a heartfelt and justifiable one. They just want to get home where they belong and to survive the continuous malicious attacks of these giant people that we don't know much about. That's perfect. There's a threat. There's a goal. The threat is diametrically opposed to the goal. Go, heroes, fight against the threat to achieve the goal. And also, maybe get the girl. Ta-da! Boxes checked. Story exists. Now we just need Veritech fighters, cool animation, interesting explosions, fitting soundtrack, and the story writes itself. I'm looking forward to more satirical aspects of this that I'm not going to expect. I'm looking forward to interpersonal conflicts blooming and blossoming. I'm looking forward to the characters realizing what circumstance they're in, because it has just barely begun to sink in for any of them what it is that they're experiencing right now. How is that going to shake out? How are these characters going to arrange themselves? What sort of hierarchy are they going to be willing to put into place, and for how long? These are all good questions, and there are infinite more questions, so the only thing really to do is to dive in and get some answers. But before we do, I just want to mention this is what I drew today, and I want to mention this because of two things. One, it's very hard to actually find a 2-scale representation of our solar system. They're all wrong. They're all wrong. When you go and look for them, look for a scale representation of solar system. The planets might be to scale. The distances between them are almost never to scale. They almost always put them equidistant apart, which is just wrong. It's just completely wrong. It's like Venus is the same distance from Mercury as Jupiter is from Neptune, or from Saturn? Jupiter and Saturn, sorry. As Jupiter is from Saturn? I don't fucking think so. I don't think so at all. It's not true. And it's not. I ended up just sort of copying one flippantly, but in order to, if I drew the sun, which is that one over there, if I drew it that size, in order to make this correct, Earth and stuff and Mars and stuff would be right around here. The asteroid belt would be here. Jupiter would be way further out here. And as we get out to the other planets, we get way out here. I would have needed like 2 more sheets of paper minimum to get anywhere close to being an accurate representation. We're not talking little puddle jumps between planets here. We're not talking a road trip with rest stops every 100 miles. We're talking a generation at sublight speeds. We're talking a generation of travel. We're talking an entire lifetime of people. Unless we can get our hands on some other warp technology, which we might be able to do. But that is something that I wanted to mention because it's what I wanted to draw. I wanted to understand and draw out the scale. I was fascinated to find just how hard it is to find accurate representations of the solar system. It's really hard. And fascinated to find just how far away they really are materially. Plenty of fodder for a year-long or long-ass episode, many-episode anime series. Perfect. I'm so happy. It really kicks into gear here. This is the thing that has happened. This is like, oh, the 3-episode rule makes sense. And man, does it make sense. I'm excited to see where we go. Let's dive in and find out. So, Super Dimension Fortress Macross Episode 4. I've got it up and ready to go. There will be 2 versions still, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, and early access, as always, on the Patreon. I'm just going to mention it explicitly because some people have not been aware. Early access is $1. It's not $5. Check it out. It's on the Patreon. I think it's worth it. You get early access to all of the shows that I watch every week, and I think that's pretty good. Still iffy on some of the ethics of it, but, you know, we do what we do, and I'm figuring it out as we go. So that's good. And Macross is going to be really fun. Let's watch it. So, episode 4, beep timer. Water. Water. I wonder... I don't recall off the top of my head whether 4 is Itano animation directed. Maybe we'll be able to find out. Maybe we'll be able to tell. That'll be a fun game. Was this episode animation directed by Itano? The Teeaboo game. We'll just have to wait until missiles happen, and then we'll know. Oh shit. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Oh no, they succeeded wildly. I'd call it a total success. Yeah, we gotta get those humans in. Air leaks at each block. Fuck. Wow, yeah. Okay. They don't have hyperdrives. Okay, fair enough, yeah. Gotta make sure you've got everything that you can. Whoops, a war? Yeah, there's still a hole in the side of the ship, and... Alright, whatever. Yasha! Hey, are you stupid? Are you stupid? Oh, yes. I am stupid. I actually thought he was just gonna start banging on it. Oh. So we're just stuck in a... Oh. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work at all. North doesn't exist. Oh, she's thinking of a... that kind of compass, yeah. So it's just pointing to the racer. Okay, fair enough. Oh. Yeah, careful, careful. Don't get crushed by giant machine. Oh! They're cute. They're cute. Oh my goodness. Very pretty. He's special. He's not joking, man. Priorities. He's already hung up. What is with the horror music? Yay! Ow. The anglerfish with the dangling light lure just eats them. So far, no, like, space aliens, monsters on board, anything crazy. I would expect. It was on Earth. Is this luggage? Oh. Yosha! Fun? Not fun. Oh, the motorcycles are great. Yeah, the vehicles. No, honestly, that's a good that's a good one to come up with. Maybe this is a nightmare. Kohi. You're the one who pushed the button. Oshimaida, giving up, lack of hope, as we discussed. Yeah, it would just take a few minutes. Many minutes. Okay. No Minovsky particles. Chug! Drink faster! There was water coming from the pipes. It was leaking. Ah, there you go. Hey. Hey? He's just gonna rip pipes out of the wall. Wait, did he actually just go and rip pipes out of the wall? Okay. No, he just went and found one. Oh, no! Oh my god. Oh, they're actually gonna be able to find them. Because there's gonna be damage. It'll appear on the systems, I think. Oh. Hey, okay. Top tier. Great. That's great. Ow. Yay, water. Just destroyed the freaking system. Wow. Somebody flushes a toilet somewhere else. Blah! Oh god. Oh, wow. Blink. Blink, blink. Don't tell the teacher that you have homework. You fool! Set up a screen? What? Yeah, fair enough. Oh, that's cute. No. Gotcha. Got him. Oh, interesting. At least she's aware. Maybe he's teasing her now. Maybe he's been abducted by a giant. Uh-oh. Found them where? Oh, in the plane? Probably in the plane. So that's why she's in a different outfit. Well, that's cute. Oh, nice. Maybe save some. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the thing. It's a maze. You can put millions of miles into a kilometer of mazes. Oh, well, that was fast. Close, close, close. Okay, this is exceptionally cute. The continuous bonding between these characters has really been working for me. God, it's so weird. I went to war and now I'm in a war. Oh yeah, they're here and they don't know. They have no idea that they're here. Doesn't love war. Doesn't love soldiers. Cute. Ah. No. Ah. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I know. Mean. Oh, she's already out. Okay. This is very, very cute. I didn't think we'd be nailing this portion so soon. You know, I said those things about the promise of the falling out of the plane scene. I just didn't think it would come to... Oh, there you go. Hey! It's my plane. She's seen the movies. Alright, let's go find a volleyball. Goober. I'm back. Okay, we're a few days in now. Sure. Eh? You're gonna run out of food soon, guy. The growing care between them is lovely. It's lovely. Nobody noticed that there's a giant water leak in 3 days? I guess they've got more pressing issues. But come on! Alright, we're running out of food, right? Oh, dejected. Well, guess we're gonna die. Pretty airtight? Oh, dude, that's not how space works. You know, it's pretty good. It's alright. No! He's just got taped up arms and legs? Oh, dude, your eyeballs are gonna pop out of your head. You're gonna freeze. You're gonna freeze. Yeah, it's extremely, it's the opposite. The ocean has pressure. Woo! Oh. Oh. Dinner. That's a multi-$1,000 fresh flash frozen tuna. Ooh, hungry. All right. We now have a mission. That's so stupid. It's so stupid. Their whole plan of survival. It's got a nose. It's missing a nose. It does lock over the whole thing. Oh my god. No. Okay, that's actually really cool. The chucking stuff to produce an equal opposite reaction. It's ridiculous. I don't know how he's moved it. I guess by pulling on the rope would work. Big fishy. Flash frozen big fishy. All right. Yeah. Where's the tuna? Where's the tuna? No. Where's the tuna? Oh, that's fine. That's still pounds of meat. At least the airlock's sealed. Okay. No, guys. Cut it up! What are you doing? Oh. All ruined because of a fishy. A blasting? Cooking. Ah. Everybody's doing just fine in the dining halls. Ah! They just don't know where the fuck they are. So what has Fokker been doing this whole time? And nobody's exploring the... of course he does. The first time we've heard her sing. Okay. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. The works. Huh? Whoa. We can make that happen. Oh, yep. The despair sets in. Aww. Well, let's roleplay. Literally gonna roleplay it. So we're gonna get roleplay married? Because we think that the world is over? I'm just gonna use that as her veil? Oh, snaps. Okay. So that sets some things into place. Yeah, high fidelity. I do. So it's all fake, but this is as real as could be, right? How romantic. Oh, how unromantic. Let's not. The fear. Damn. gosh. But also, like, right at the end of tragedy where they genuinely think that they're both gonna die. Gisu? Is that where this is going? Yeah, that is where this is going. Oh, shit! And we're interrupted by Salvation, I assume. What the fuck? Is that a gravity drive? Huh? Oh shit, we're saved! Huh? Uncle? Oh, Mayor? We're safe! Whee! Amazing. Eh? There's a whole city. But it's a city. Wait, what? Those are inside the spaceship? Oh, because the chunk of the shit, of the... It just took the town and put it in the... That's great! So that explains how there's living space. Did you just meet her dad? I think you just met her dad. I think he likes you. I think you're in, man. I think it's over. You're good. Yeah, it's alright. I thought he was gonna knock him into the pit. Yeah, she does flip-flop pretty fast. The unpredictable and attractive kind? Yeah, that kind. Also very talented. And very cute. Oh, yeah! That's gonna take a while. And I have to stop it there. Hey, look, city is back on track, back running. They just took the town and put it inside the ship. Of course they did. Of course they did. Ridiculous. Wow. I think that the character storytelling in this episode is excellent. It's really good. It's really simple. We get a boy character and a girl character stuck in a difficult situation with only each other for company and their own ingenuity. And they grow a real, genuine, and believable bond that ends up getting left off with an unfulfilled wedding ceremony that will, of course, be something fluttering around in the back of the untied threads of the show for a while until they figure that one out and actually get married, I assume. It tells us pretty clearly where we're going and what Lin Min-mei wants, which is really interesting. Docking with them instead of the arms, round up everything that's floating out there. Great. Everything is as bad as it could be. We don't know where we're going. Don't know how to get there. Do want to mention that immediately the faces, I think, look better in this episode. Faces, the hair, all of the characterization and expressiveness, I think, are a bit leveled up. I like the way that the show introduces these setup payoff elements. For example, the water that's there pays off later when she realizes that she needs water, and he realizes, oh wait, there was water back there. It gives us as an audience the opportunity to go, what about the water from those pipes? And then the character goes, but what about the water from those pipes? And we go, yes, I'm smart. I watched the thing and I observed. This is dumb shit, but it really works. And it's a lot of fun to do. And I have a lot of fun with it. And I know that other people do too. Even if it's obvious, even if it's like simple, or you're solving puzzles that have been put out there for you to solve and you get that distinct feeling like you were meant to do that, I don't mind it at all. I still really enjoy it, and it's fun, and it puts me, or helps to place me, in the perspective of our characters, trying to figure out what they could do, trying to think of some other solution to their lost problem, trying to think of some solution to their food problem. Thinking of answers in those circumstances is like, it's like a little bit of a mental workout, a little bit of a narrative workout. What could play out here? How could it be interesting? And I think it does a great job. Okay. Their direct interactions are great. From Lynn going and touching something without thinking and jumping back because it's hot. Oh, I just got very scared for a second. I thought I wasn't recording. To him then stumbling over something and it going back and forth. Or her falling and screaming in the background. It's great. This sequence stands out to me because of the way the hair is drawn and the lines in between and the lighting. It all starts to become a little bit more clear, a little bit prettier, a little bit more human. I don't know why, but it's like the characters really start to see each other. Fokker is looking out for them, but has other things to deal with. I'm uncertain, really. We get this interaction between them where Global tries to stress the importance of the current circumstance and the huge numbers of civilians, and Fokker takes it as a direct utilitarian, like, cavalier attitude, at least as I see it. So, 50,000 matter more than one, I see, haha. But I don't really understand what the attitude back and forth is exactly, and I'm not sure exactly who they call blockhead here. I'm not sure. In any case, brightness! Yay! They're so dumb. They're so dumb. What if there's a trap? I know that there isn't, but what if there was? And we do a similar setup with the airlock thing, right? And where we can climb up, and we have a moment where Hikaru looks at the giant airlock and is reminded of the giants and the traumatic moment, and then snapped out of it by her. It's the motorcycles that get me. It's the motorcycles floating in space that get me, that make it land, that make it make sense. It's like when you see a scene of major destruction and stuff, and it doesn't really track until you see like one little outline of a stick figure body, and then you go, oh, it's real. Or you watch the footage of the World Trade Center in 2001, and it's like, it's catastrophic, horrifying, but it doesn't land until you see the bodies, you see the people jumping, and then it lands. You're like, oh, that's a human element. Or cadavers. When I was in middle school, we went and we saw, I think we saw an autopsy, but they warned us beforehand, and for good reason, that often people are totally fine with seeing blood or flesh, things like that, but when you see a hand or you see a foot, suddenly it's human, it's real. And that's not a body, that's a person now, and it's real, and it lands. Here, that's a chaotic mess of dilapidated cityscape. It doesn't mean anything to me, it's just debris. And then there's a single vehicle, and that's outside of somebody's house, and that was real. And there's a truck that goes by, and that's carrying stuff from one place to another, and that's real, and it lands, and it lands. It's cool. Or like the big concrete pylons that go on seawalls it's an island. So on seawalls, that's just floating out in space. But it's the motorcycle that clicks for me. Everybody is overworked and overstressed. I really like this little moment here where Lin Minmei says that she's thirsty. Hikaru goes and tries to get her water. There's actually a previous moment that I think is really fun where he does the little like fun salute thing. Stands there with the piece of pipe and is like ready for duty, right? It's a playful frame that Hikaru manages to keep. Not a this is serious business. This is the end of the world. He manages to keep this very playful frame, and maybe that's because he's a dingus. Maybe that's because he's dumb. But it works. It works great here, and it might be part of what's keeping them sane. But anyway, he goes and starts doing the physical effort part. The man thing, you know? It differentiates Lin Minmei as a female protagonist that she's willing to take her shoes off and get her hands dirty in order to accomplish this, instead of sitting there and watching. It tells us something about her. And it's at odds with what we get later, which is that she stays by the ship and waits and makes food while he goes out and ventures forth, when they should split up because they could cover more ground that way. Even though it's a bad meme, they should split up so that they could cover more ground that way, because she could walk around too and look for stuff too. But it makes sense. And he does have the compass. these two things are a little bit at odds, but we show that Lin is really willing to, and we see her immediately figure it out. She's like, well, can I help? Nope, I've got these shoes on. Dispense with the shoes. Easy done. And it's cute how we do it. We make it a cute moment as they work together and then get blasted back together. And it's victory together, achieved together through their mutual effort, right? Together, not one of them for the other. And so they laugh at it and have this joyous moment as they get water. Oh, it's delicious. Yay, water. How wonderful. And transition from there into a flirtatious, teasy, interesting scene. The shower thing, I actually really like the way we cut back to him and he's just blank. I'm gonna sit here. Oh wait, maybe I should move. Yeah, maybe. There's definitely an aspect of the telling the teacher that you've had homework thing. It's like, if she wasn't gonna tell you to leave, man, maybe you should have just stayed. But of course, he does win some brownie points by noticing it. You've made me happy. Lovely. A screen, and then she screams in order to tease him to see if he'll jump out. And look, which is very funny of her, because that's exactly the scene that would play out here if we weren't parodying the scene, if we weren't having fun with the scene, if we weren't as aware of the nature of this scene as we are, because we're very much aware of exactly what's going on in this scene, right? This is the opportunity for an accidental exposure sequence or a peeping Tom sequence or any number of sequences. And so Min-Mei herself as character in world is aware of that and plays with it and does the thing that would cause that circumstance tentatively to test it to see if it'll happen. That's pretty funny. I think that's pretty funny because this is exactly what would happen, right? She would shower, she would be nude, she'd scream because the water got cold for a second or hot for a second or something, right? She'd scream, he'd come out, oh no, oops, I saw a thing, and she'd go, baka, throw something at him, and he goes, oh gosh, oh, I'm so sorry, and that's our whole scene. And the whole purpose of the scene is to get implied sexuality between our characters. It's to get something to change. It's to get the characters to think about each other in a different light. But we don't need any of that. We don't need any of that. Instead, we can play with it. We can really genuinely play with it, and that's exactly what she does here. Really? Oh. And he's chased by it. And of course, it's unclear whether his motivation for stepping out was, oh, she's in danger, or oh, an excuse. It's unclear, and probably a mix of both. But it ends up being a chastening experience anyway, and it lays some ground rules, and it lays some foundations for their relationship, which I think is really, truly interesting. And then it's a little bit odd. We as an audience get to have our cake and eat it too, a little bit. Because while we have this chastened experience for Hikaru, we get to be voyeuristically engaged in the shower sequence, and we actually get to see Lin Min-Mei's body. We pan up her butt, right? Ta-da! I also really like the way that they drew the water across her. It's really unique looking. Just to mention it, it's really unique looking. And this scene, I just want to say, manages to skirt a line really interestingly. It's hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about stuff like this. I love talking about sex and sexuality as represented in media. I love talking about it. I love criticizing it, especially when I think that it's done poorly, and I love praising it when I think it's done interestingly or well. I don't know where I fall on this. I think it's odd that we are non-diegetically voyeuristic on the character. That is, there isn't a character observing her in this circumstance. Hikaru isn't peeping. There's no excuse for us to have line of sight on her. And so it's non-diegetic. It's purely for our titillation. It's purely for us. That said, it manages to avoid, to me, strongly objectifying Lin Min-Mei. It does objectify her. It does sexualize her. But it manages to do so without feeling extremely perverse to me. And not all circumstances like this manage that. Lots of shower scenes are way weirder or worse or stranger. But I'll bet over the decades that this and Robotech have existed, that many young men have fallen for Lin Min-Mei in part because of this scene. because they come to see her as a sexual entity because of it. I think it matters. It puts us in a push-pull with the character, just like Hikaru. It's an attractively done bit of mild nudity. Maybe I teased him a little too much. Sorry, Hikaru. Huh? But of course he's gone to go get the clothes, and she begins to worry that he might have walked away or something. So she ends up in the work clothes, which are very cute because they're so baggy and not fitting. Gets goofy in the mirror, and we set up our circumstance, our situation. The soldiers will protect them. The soldiers, huh? Sleepy. And she believes that he's trying to feel her up in her sleep, but of course she's not. And it's the return, or the realization of the rats that sends her back to his arms. Their banter is cute. Their perseverance is cute. Their getting to know each other is continuous. It's the perfect stuck on a desert island together circumstance, and that's exactly what's intended, and he throws it out there later, and it's exactly correct. What if it goes poorly? Come up with a daring plan and are diverted by hunger. They should have gone for comms, but instead the tuna. I think it's a cool scene. I think it's a really cool scene. I like the chucking of big metal objects in order to create Newtonian motion. It's super interesting. I love the horking of the tuna and the partial failure as it gets crushed, and we end up only with a part of a tuna. That he would survive this circumstance, I don't think would happen. I don't think so. Aw, big tuna head. But now our chances disappear. All of our hope begins to burn away. And up top, things have been going fine. Contrast. And a song. And when do we get the song? I think it's really important. Lin Min-mei is not singing from the first episode that we meet her. Lin Min-mei is not a singer who sings all the time annoyingly as we walk around the halls of the ship looking for food and water. She starts singing when it gets hopeless. She starts singing when they're really coming to the end. And in some way, it gives them hope again. And I think that's the part that she'll play on a larger scale. You might not believe it, but I have training. I believe it. And both of them admire the other. And her answer is that she wants to be a bride, not anything else. And we begin to get very seriously depressed and hopeless. The rats will dine on us. Maybe we should just throw ourselves out of the airlock. And she says that she wishes she could have worn that dress. So we set up for a little mini ceremony. And this is as symbolic can be. This is like if at the beginning of a show, your two characters who are childhood friends are like, that's right, we're going to get married and love each other forever. Now, you know you're going to be in for a hellscape of netarare and bullshit when you hear that stuff. Not necessarily going to happen here. You know you're in a hellscape of torment when that happens in the show, but it's still an important setup, and this mirrors it. It's an important setup. The idea that these two characters have stood across from each other, willing to fake marry, and then don't because it gets interrupted by circumstance and they're brought back. It's only at the end of hope that they get to this extreme. I mean, that's gonna rhyme at some point, right? That's gonna rhyme at some point. Just have to wait for when. If we're just going to die anyway, let's go out together and throw ourselves in space. You fell from the sky and drifted in space, but you're still alive. You'll be saved this time too, I promise. And she withdraws and doesn't believe him. And won't believe him. Impossible. No, there's no hope. And so he sees some different sides to Lin Min-mei. an ability to be an inspirational leader and the reason to keep going, and also to be terrified and frightened and willing to give up. A girl full of contradictions, and that's good. Really good. You're just scared to die, coward. And his response is so interesting. So interesting, because the traditional male lead in an anime, if you call them a coward, they have to fight you. That's like the rules. It's the rules. You call them a coward, they have to defend themselves. I'm not a coward, I'll throw myself out in space. Whoa! Right? And also, coward. Dude, the dude wrapped himself up in cloth and jumped out into open space with a rope in order to get a tuna. I don't think he's a coward. But all of that demonstrates where Lin Minmei's at, right? And it's super interesting where Hikaru's at. He's not the gung-ho, instantly defensive machismo macho man at all. Or even the down-on-himself, self-esteemless, but willing to fight for his reputation or whatnot that you'd get from some styles of characters like this. Nor is he the truly depressed person who believes her and is like, oh shit, she called me out. Really, I am the most pathetic in a Shinji sort of sense, right? Asuka might say, Shinji, you're a fucking coward, get in the robot. And he'd be like, yeah, you're right. I suck. It's like, okay, Shinji, all right. He's not that either. But he's able to take the criticism in stride without getting defensive about it. And look at himself and self-evaluate in a really interesting way. I guess I am kind of pathetic. I only know how to fly planes, but you make me. And he isn't able to express himself, but I think we can fill in the gaps a little bit. I guess I got a little crazy for a second, and reasonably so. 12 days, minimal food and water. And we zoom in, zoom out, I guess, for a kiss. They lean in for it, and that's our interrupt. So, 12 days on the lam together, isolated. Our characters now have an everlasting bond between them that almost comes to fruition as a romance, but doesn't, which means that it's always going to be that untied thread, that tentative, frayed end that we'd really like to get tied up just for our own satisfaction. And there's the plot. There's the plot. We got to get home. We got to keep everybody happy. And we got to make this romance work. And also fight off the aliens because we need more pilots. And that's been sprinkled in as well with some of the conversations in the mess hall and such. Gosh, it's great if you've got all these Valkyries, but you need pilots, don't you? Wouldn't it be great if you just had an air racer pilot show up and offer to be a part of the industry or a part of the fleet? Yeah, that would be great. I think this was a stellar episode. Welcome to the town. Welcome to the SDF Macross. Finally, not just the underbelly of the ship, but the whole ship. This is also really, really cool. I just want to step back and say one more thing narratively, which is, when I started at the beginning of this episode, one of the issues that I sort of tried to present was that there's a whole lot to get squared away, which is a good thing. It means there's a ton of story to tell. Where are we? What kind of hierarchy are we going to be in? Who's in charge? How's it going to go? How are we going to integrate the civilians? How's Hikaru going to become a member of the Valkyrie squad? What's Fokker up to? What's Claudia up to? What are all these people up to on all these circumstances? How is everybody doing on the ship? Are we fighting the enemy? Are they attacking us continuously? We don't know, right? We get to avoid answering any of those questions. We don't have to answer any of them at all. Why? Because all we have to do is focus on Hikaru and Lin Minmei. Everything else is going on its own. As long as nothing blows up, we're fine. So we get to focus our entire episode on building up our core relationship between our core characters and following through on the promise that we get of them falling out of the plane together. That promise is being fulfilled here. And it's because we're able to focus in on them. They're not wandering around the town and meeting all the people and being addressed on all sides by all types of different characters. Every element that we would have added to this episode would have detracted away from the core relationship of the show. So I think it's an extraordinarily good idea and great decision to very much limit the scope of the episode, prevent us from worrying about any of the other stuff that's going on, and focus entirely on the characters. Because with that squared away, We have a will they, won't they romantic tension established. We have characters and their backgrounds and their mindsets and their potential established. And now we can do all the other stuff and focus on it on its own and not feel waterlogged or overwhelmed by too many things at once. And I think that's excellent. I think it's just excellent. So I really approve of this episode, and I really am excited to see where we go from here. Now that we've laid that groundwork of this one prime relationship, what's next? Battle? Machining? Social organization? I don't know. Who cares? I'm happy with what we've got, and I'm excited to see what happens next. I hope you are too, and I hope to see you next week for more Macross. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week for the next episode. Grab it a week early for $1 on the Patreon, linked in the description, and I'll see you there. Peace.